Hello everybody, welcome back. This is part 3 in a multi-part series where we're going over Monopoly Minus, the initial release. Um, Today we're going over the community chest and chance cards. I'm going to just, briefly go over the ones that I didn't change, and then I'll go over the ones that I did change. I'll give my thoughts along the way for the ones that I did change, and maybe explain a couple of them if they may not be obvious. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to start with the community chest cards first. So this one says you broke your ankle while playing hooky. So it's just the hospital fees. I just wanted to add some flavor text to it. So oh wait, let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, that should be good. I'll put that over there. Okay, property tax. Pay 10% market value on all of your owned properties. So luckily, this might seem like a headache, but luckily I have a spreadsheet which I am going to link, and I'm going to make a video on how to use. It's probably going to be my next video. It's the market value on all of your own properties. So let's do an example of this. Say you owned, let's just make this easy. Let's say you owned Reading Railroad and you owned Vermont Avenue. The market value is the price shown on the property. So since this is 200, say I own this and I own Vermont, so that means the combined total is 300. But I pay 10% of the market value, so this means I would pay 30 because 10% of 200 is 20, 10% of 100 is 10. And like I said, my spreadsheet does that as long, yeah, so it's not terrible, but if you don't have an easy, quick way to do it, then this card is like you should maybe just take this card out or maybe make a house rule and change it, because you won't be able to actually use this card the way it's intended if you don't have something that can keep track like a spreadsheet could. Okay, modern, you lost a sports bet, pay $50. That's just, you lose money, nothing crazy there. Bank error in your favor. I left that because I thought this one was like an iconic card, so it stays in the game. Let's see. Get out of jail free. Okay, so this is what I spoke about in my Spaces video actually. So if you're in jail, it gets used automatically. So if you have this card, as soon as you go to jail, the next turn it just this activates and you're out. So it's kind of a nerf in that sense. So you probably don't want this card now. You probably wouldn't want this card now because, especially late game, if you have this late game, it's really bad. So yeah, I wouldn't. It's just honestly not even a good card. It's good early game, but it's bad. Early game and mid game, it's good. Win the lottery. I was just trying to be ironic. Collect $25 because you know it's like, oh my god, I won the lottery, but you only won $25. So it's just another one of those collect or not or give. And I've kept the assessed for street repairs, so pay for the house, pay for the hotel. Homebuyer incentive laws were passed, so this is essentially the opposite but worse of the property tax card. So you receive 5% of the market value on all the properties you own, and like before, the spreadsheet does that for you as well. So, keep that in mind. I wanted to make something dynamic. That was kind of the point. Like it's not just a blanket. It's not just a blanket. Here's some money, or I'm taking money away from you. I wanted to make it a little more dynamic based on the position you are in the game. It's fairly insignificant, 5% and 10%. If you think about it, it's fairly insignificant. But towards the end, taking a 10% hit like the other card showed, it could be detrimental. Okay, you inherit $100. Yep, that's in the original game. Okay, I'm going to go over this card at the end. I'm not going to go over that right now. Pay school fees, $50. Okay, that's just in the base game, nothing to say there. Okay, this is a new card. It's interesting. Landlord breaks lease. The next time you pay rent over $100, only pay half of the amount due. So let's go over an example real quick of how this would work. Let's do a nice number. Let's just say, okay, we'll use St. Charles because I like the purples the most. It's my favorite property. Say I land on this, and let's just say that we have um, 3 houses. Oh, whoops, it's in Virginia. Okay, we'll do 3 houses. So I should have did Virginia, but that's okay. Whoa, these guys, I gotta shrink those guys, Jesus. Okay, so I gotta shrink the houses. Didn't even realize that. Okay, so say we have 3 houses, right? And I land on this space. That's actually kind of funny. The rent is $450. So if I have this community chest card, because I know I got to keep it, I only pay the owner half of this. So half of 450 is 225. So it could save your life. You know, it's a pretty good card. It's not bad, but what kind of sucks about it is if, say, you land on St. Charles Place when it only has 2 houses on it, and it's only 75. You kind of want it in the late game, and there is no option. As you can see on the card, it just says if you ever have to pay $100, you can only pay half. So there's no option, right? It just does it. It does the thing. It just gets used. So, because that'd be a little more overpowered, I think, if you could just choose, the killing blow you could just ignore. So I wanted to make it, beneficial, but not beneficial to the point where it just completely saves the game for you. And it still could, but it has just a lower chance of doing that. Yeah, I gotta shrink these guys. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay, this one's kind of a lengthy one. I like to add the flavor text, so we'll skip that part. So you draw a card from the spaceship deck and receive the mortgage value of the space shown. If it is not a property, collect $25. So this is just essentially saying, let's go to the spaceship deck and let's draw a card. So let's just shuffle it real quick, and I draw B&O Railroad. So then it says, so I drew a card from the spaceship deck, and now I receive the mortgage value of the space shown. So I know that the mortgage value of B&O is $100. So that means that I would collect $100. Hopefully we can pull a card that isn't okay. For example, say I pulled this purple chance, and it says here, if it is not a property, collect 25. So, this isn't a property. Chance purple is not a property, so I would just collect a baseline 25. So this is just a positive card. It's not. It's just that, once again, it's one of those dynamic positive cards that just give you a benefit. And the reason why I chose 25, by the way, was because I didn't want to make it better than the worst property. So Mediterranean Avenue, the mortgage value is 30. I wanted to make, it 25 because that's the lowest it could possibly be, is 30. So yeah, that's kind of the thought process there with that. Okay, the beauty contest. This card's really bad. I just wanted to keep it in here because it's a meme. That's the only reason. So I'll just cast that aside for now. Chairman of the board. If you are a Monopoly fanatic, you'll know this is in the chance deck. I made this move on purpose. So chairman of the board, really bad when there's 6 people in the game. But yeah, I kept it. It is your birthday. Slight buff from 10 to 25, I believe. You caught the flu. Okay, it's doctor's fees, just different flavor text. Get out of jail free. We went over that already. There's 2 of them in this deck. Life insurance. Yep, collect 100. and sale stock. Okay, let's go over this one now. So this is a interesting new thing that I've done. So it's called the Golden Opportunity. Um, you have the option to purchase or auction the craftsmanship artifact. So this is the way how you purchase this, by the way. So like I said in the last video, there's no space for the craftsmanship. So the only way you get the option to purchase it is via this card. So as soon as you pull this card, say I land on community chest over here, right? I land on it. I get the option to purchase it or auction it. So I could just buy it for $100. I didn't go over this, but uh, if you have another artifact, say I have optics or exploration, the rent increases to $50. So it's like a really nice card. It's a really nice card. I think it's very beneficial to the artifacts type of the artifacts. So, all right, how are we doing? Okay, we're at 11 minutes. Okay, let's go over the chance cards now. Let's go ahead and do that. I might have to split this up into 2 videos. I'm going to upload. Okay, yeah, we could do that. All right, so chance. Advance to St. Charles Place, that's the same. If you pass go and collect 200, this is going to be the time when I explain advance and when you collect go money. So if that ever happens, then I'll explain it. Advance to Illinois. Okay. This is advance to the nearest utility. You roll a dice and you pay the owner 15 times the shown value. Pretty strong. That's a pretty strong now. So you know, you go to Waterworks and let's see what happens. Okay, I rolled a 7, so 7 times 15. What is that? 21 times 5. $105. Pretty strong. So yeah, that's what that does. So instead of 10 times, it's 15 times. And then if you pass go, collect 200. Take a trip to the Reading Railroad, collect 200 for passing go. Okay, this is a new card. A wizard appears. I just wanted to, again, the flavor text. Flip the top 3 cards of the spaceship deck and advance to one of the spaces shown. Okay, this is probably the time where I'm going to explain advance. If the card says advance, it means to move forward. If it doesn't say to collect money, you don't collect money. So this card, for example, actually let's do the example and then I'll show you. Chance Purple, B&O Railroad, Mediterranean. Okay, this is perfect. Alright, so say we are on chance, we pull this card. It says, okay, I get to advance to one of the spaces shown. The downside is you don't collect go money because it doesn't say it on the card. If it doesn't say it on the card, you don't collect the money. That's how this is working. I probably have to write that in the change log, but so you advance to the space, but you don't get to collect the money. So maybe in this case, well, whoa, wait a second. If I was on this space, that's actually good. I'd probably just go to the chance purple in this case. So then the word advance also means that you do the action. So if I were to choose Mediterranean, if it's not owned, I can purchase it, auction it. If it is owned, I have to pay the owner the rent. And then say I chose the chance purple, say I'm going to advance to chance purple, even though I'm already on it, I then draw another chance card. You perform the action. That's what advance means, to move to the space, and it means to do the action. And advance means to move forward, but you don't collect $200 unless it says it on the card. So just from, if you don't like that, then you can play, as long as you're not playing with me, you can totally just say whatever. You can collect 200, but just know that the official way to play is that if it doesn't say you collect 200, you don't collect 200. Okay, so that's that card. Alright, let's go over... Okay, this is another new one. Wild Winds Jumble the City. flip 7 cards from the spaceship deck. Each player selects 1 space and moves to that space. Again, the advance thing. Doesn't say advance, so you don't do the action. It doesn't say collect 200, so there's no collecting of 200. So let's see how this would work. So there's 6 people. Say I'm red. I'm red, okay? It doesn't matter what I am, but it actually does. So I'm red, I land on chance. Let's say the order is going clockwise, so after me it's orange, then it's blue, then it's green, then it's purple, and then it's yellow. That's the order, we're going clockwise. So what happens is, with this card, let's just move stuff out of the way. Wow, the hotels are ginormous too. Okay. So let's see. I have to flip all these. Mediterranean, Marvin, St. James, Boardwalk. Okay. So I get to pick one of these 7 spaces. So I'm going to pick Boardwalk. So I go to Boardwalk, but remember it's a move, not advance. So I don't get to purchase the property, or I don't owe any rent since it doesn't say advance. So even if somebody owns that, I don't have to pay rent. Okay, since I chose Boardwalk, the next person, that option goes away. So then maybe Orange gets to pick, and Orange is going to say, okay, I want to go to the B&O Railroad. So then that goes away. B&O Railroad goes away. Then Blue gets to pick. Blue wants to go to Marvin Gardens. Okay, so Blue's going to go to Marvin Gardens. And so on and so forth. So you get the point. We'll just move them in the random spots. And then he gets to go to Mediterranean. That's kind of bad. Or he gets picked Vermont. So yeah, that's pretty much what that card does. Just literally jumbling the city, moving people around. That's what that does. And you don't pay rent. You can't buy anything. It's just because it doesn't say the word advance. I just want to make sure that's clear. That's why I keep repeating it. Alright, next. Swap places with another player. So again, if purple lands on chance, pulls this card, he could say, okay, I want to swap places with somebody. So I'm going to swap places with red. And remember, it doesn't say the word advance. There's no advance written on the card, so no rent is paid. And I don't get to pull a chance card if I'm red. Advance to the nearest railroad. Pay the owner double rent. So, you know, same deal with that. Okay. Advance to go. Collect 200. Landing on go, by the way, means you collect 200. So that's why it doesn't say collect 200, even though it says, you know, move to go. As long as it says advance and you go to go, if you land on go, it's 200. Advance to go. Okay, let me go over, let me see. Advance to Boardwalk. The same deal, just the same card. The general repairs on all your property, that's still in this deck. Go to jail. Remember, I don't say, you know, it doesn't say collect 200, so you don't collect 200. Go to jail again. It's a new card, so let me go over. Okay, antitrust laws. Okay, so these are all new cards, so we're going to go over them. Let's go over this one. You could purchase one house on any owned property. 50% off it as part of a set. This is a new thing that I'm trying in here. So, you can purchase one house on any owned property. So if I just own Baltic, I can purchase a house on it. You know, this could be pretty strong, right? So you can break the rule of you need a set to purchase a house. But there's also another rule in this game where you have to build evenly. So if you know, if I have two houses on Mediterranean, I have to at least have one house on Baltic Avenue. You can't break that rule with this. So let's do that. Um, say I pull this card twice, right? I somehow get lucky and I pull this card twice. I already have a house on Mediterranean. I can't then again put another house on Mediterranean because I don't have a house on Baltic. You can't go more than one per property still. It only breaks this one only allows you to place a house um, on on our own property as long as it doesn't break that other rule. Then there's a nice 50% off clause if it's part of a set. So, oops, hit space. Shoot. Okay. Let's throw that here. Antitrust laws violate. This is a pretty nasty card. You put up a card for auction, put up a property for auction, as long as it's not part of a set. If it is part of if you don't have anything else besides properties part of a set, then this card does nothing. It does nothing because it can't be part of a set. So it doesn't kill you, but you lose some trade aura, if you want to call it that. So pretty nasty card, I think. Could kill you. Roll a die, go back that many spaces. So you roll one die. It's not two dice, it's one die. You roll one die and you just go back. So it replaced go back 3 spaces. You'll on average go back 3.5 spaces. So a charity event has been created for you. Re-roll the dice in advance again. So I land on chance. Let's roll the dice. Oh, I rolled 7. So that means I advance again. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I go to Mediterranean. I collect 200 because I pass go, and I also collect $70 because I gain $10 for each space traveled. Okay. Then the last chance card. You have discovered the power of the dark arts. Pay $200 in advance to any space on the board. Very strong card. So again, it doesn't say collect 200, but you advance to a space. So I'm on here. I'm going to give up $200. And I get to go to any space I want to go. So I'm going to go to go, and I'm going to collect $200 now. I'd probably go to Boardwalk. I'd probably go to Boardwalk or Park Place, one of those two, if it's early game. Or, you know, if I'm lucky enough to have something, then I can go to one of those. This is a card that I'm going to test out. It might be too strong. The only reason why it'd be too strong, by the way, is because of these properties, the browns and the dark blues, because of how much value they can, especially the dark blues, because of how much value they have. So I might have to mess around with that and say I'm an idiot and I want to go to Oriental. Maybe I'm not an idiot. Maybe I want to go to Oriental. Since I'm advancing, so I have to go. I go around the board, but I don't collect $200. So that is it. That was a pretty long video. My thoughts on this is that I kind of wanted to stay close to the original game as much as I could, but I also wanted to add extra stuff, you know, to spice the game up at the same time. That was my thought process. I think later on I'm going to try to cut out a lot of original cards and make newer ones that do interesting things, but I wanted to stay close to it. The card count for each deck is 20, so there are 20 chance cards and 20 community chest cards, and luckily this card's on the top. Once this card is played, it gets removed from the deck, so it's only going to be 19 in this deck because it effectively does nothing after it gets pulled the first time. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. The next video is going to be about the spreadsheet, how to use it, and then the video after that, I'll probably go over maybe the future of this game and what I have planned. So, and just like the last video, all the links are going to be in the description for everything. Thank you guys.